Etra Chan saw it characters as the 7 deadly sins. The 7 deadly sins: greed, lust, envy, pride, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. There are 7 characters in particular who perfectly exemplify the 7 deadly sins, starting with greed. Greed is thought of as the uncontrolled longing for something, when someone has to sacrifice something important to get it. Azumi is the perfect candidate for the sin of greed, as she is a penny pincher. Her most common motivation in her roles as an antagonist is in some way related to money. This includes stealing, mooching off of friends and co-workers, exploiting family members for money or attempting to steal their inheritance, and more. You could argue that Azumi is successful due to her indulging in greed, but the same can't be said for the character who indulges in lust. Lust is thought of as unbridled sexual desire, often when one has to sacrifice something pure because of it. Akamatsu is the perfect candidate for the sin of lust, as he is an unfaithful man. He is seen cheating on women with other women, and his reasons include him wanting a son. His sexual desires are what get him his comeuppance in episodes where he has an affair. Akamatsu ruins his own reputation by indulging in lust, but the next character has her reputation built by indulging in envy. To envy is to have a longing arousal for someone else's belongings, but to take it a step farther is to have an extreme desire to actually be someone else. The sin of envy personifies Akane, a woman whose jealousy is a common character flaw that motivates her as an antagonist. She often ends up causing trouble for the protagonists due to being jealous of them or one of their loved ones. She does this because she wants to be on the same level as the protagonists, or she wants what they have. While Akane would be considered a minor threat compared to other characters, the next character is one of the biggest potential threats and represents pride. Pride is defined as dangerously corrupt selfishness, putting one's own desires, urges, wants, and whims before the welfare of others. The sin of pride is a perfect descriptor for Hiragi, as he is a full-blown narcissist. A common character trait is that he tricks people either to get what he wants or to get back at them, causing trouble for other people for his own personal gain. He also does things that only make sense to him and nobody else, often to boost his ego. While Hiragi is big as a potential threat, the next character is also big, but in a different way, and is our candidate for gluttony. Gluttony is the overconsumption and overindulgence in something to the point of waste. John is the perfect candidate for the sin of gluttony, as he eats a lot of food. He frequently visits a ramen shop, or he eats ramen, his favorite food. He is also chubby because he tends to eat large amounts of food in a short amount of time. He is lucky the next character isn't angry at him, because she's our candidate for wrath. Wrath is the most simple of the 7 deadly sins, and is pretty much thought of as excessive anger. The sin of wrath perfectly describes Yuzuriha, as although she is voluptuous, she is often portrayed as unhinged. Examples of her unhinged behavior include her threatening Hiragi with a knife after Katsura tells her he's been cheating on her and getting revenge on those who have wronged her. You could say a lot of things about Yuzuriha, but one thing you can't say is that she's lazy and isn't always trying new things to satisfy her anger. However, in terms of work ethic, the same can't be said for the next character on this list and our candidate for sloth. Sloth is the reluctance to work or make an effort, otherwise known as laziness. Etra Chan is the perfect candidate for the sin of sloth, as she usually appears as a background character or at the end of videos. She rarely gets involved in the plot, and instead opts to give her opinions on the videos and watch the action happen.